Good morning, welcome to our platform. I'm Fundan Azim, Flash News, Malaysia. In the latest escalation of a long-standing Israel-Palestine conflict, grave human rights violations have come to the forefront, drawing global concern. Stemming from historical tension dating back to Israel's establishment in 1948, the conflict has resurfaced with alarming intensity. Amidst the conflict, fundamental human rights, including freedom of movement and the right to life, are being systematically violated. Israeli imposed restrictions have left thousands of Palestinians without access to essential services like medical care, constituting clear infringements on basic rights. Forcible eviction and demolitions of Palestinian homes further exacerbate the humanitarian crisis, violating international law and perpetuating cycles of displacement and suffering. Moreover, the targeting of civilians by all parties involved raises serious concerns about compliance with international humanitarian law and protections of non-combatants. We are pleased to have our methodologist live with us on our platform, Mr. Chino.
To gain some more information about the human rights violation in Palestine-Israel war, the methods used were individual interviews and survey or questionnaires. The study aims to increase awareness, encourage accountability, and support efforts to bring about justice. Before the beginning of individual interviews, 2 videos were screened to educate the interviewee about human rights violation in the Palestine-Israel war and to take note to their response to the issue. For the survey, responses from 30 participants were collected, compiled, and analyzed. This initiative aims to provide a deeper knowledge of the subject by hearing from different perspectives and thoughts.
Thank you for your presence on our platform, Mr. Chino. We are pleased to have our research analysis, Mr. Adam.
This part will present an analysis of the human rights situation in the Israel and Palestinian conflict based on both interview response and survey results. Okay, so Mr. Rashid, are there any violations of human rights in Palestine and the occupied territories? Yes or no?
Yes, because I believe when there are innocent people being killed and also facilities being bombed by either from Palestinians or the Israeli, I believe that because of this, there are violations of human rights.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rashid. Next, Ms. Sophie, will you please provide an overview of the human rights situation concerning the Israel-Palestinian conflict? Maybe the latest news of you know.
I am seeing a lot of bad things, like kids being killed, old people being killed, other people in the hospital. Everyone is suffering. All the human rights are being violated.
Lastly, Mr. Jonathan, what steps, in your opinion, can be taken to address and stop the violations of human rights in the context of conflict between Israel and Palestine?
Personally, I would like to see solidarity between the countries that support Palestine.
On a survey as conducted, near anonymous perception 96.7% of an imbalance of rights in the conflict echoes Rawlsian principles of justice, where inequality is inherently unjust unless it benefits the least well-off. Such a consensus may reflect a collective intuitions aligned with the theory of justice as fairness, indicating a profound concern for the equitable distributions of rights and privileges.
On that point, thank you for your presence on our platform, Mr. Adam. We are pleased to have our 2 physiologists, Mr. Harry and Mr. Christian.
These reflect the psychological impact of the conflict on individuals, revealing feelings of helplessness, concern for the future, and trauma of living in a war-torn environment. And from a sociological perspective, the interviews illustrate the breakdown of societal structures that usually provide stability, such as healthcare and education systems. The damage to these institutions not only affects the current population, but also impedes the development of future generations. The respondents emphasize on collective actions like boycotts, and international solidarity reflects Durkheim's concept of collective conscience and the power of societal unity in addressing and rectifying injustices.
And interview responses show a strong belief in the values of human life and rights. The conflict's psychological damages highlight social failures, disrupting society's cohesion and well-being. The philosophy of Sejahtera is all about creating a happy and peaceful society. It tells us that we need to look for a good balance between having enough things and feeling content inside. When we think about the troubles discussed in the surveys and interviews, Sejahtera would suggest we focus on fixing hurt feelings and broken community bonds. Instead of letting the fight for powers lead to people getting hurt, Sejahtera encourages us to work towards fairness and think about the growth of everyone in the community. In this situation, Sejahtera could be the base for fixing the community that's been damaged by the conflict. It reminds us that in order to have a strong society, we really need to focus on everyone's life in a complete and caring way.
Thank you so much for your presence, our two physiologists. Well, please now to have a concluding analysis. Mr. Miraz.
Israel-Palestine issue transcends political complexity. It is a humanitarian disaster of epic proportion. The road forward necessitates not only international cooperation, but also a coordinated worldwide effort to encourage understanding, empathy, and adherence to the fundamental ideals of justice and human rights. It invites a Sejahtera-inspired approach, one that seeks to heal deep wounds, re-establish damaged communal relationships, and pave the way for a more harmonious and peaceful collaboration on a worldwide scale.
Thank you, and that is the latest update for today. Stay tuned for further development. I'm Fundin Azim, signing off.